Ariana Carvalho wants to know about magic. She thinks there's been magic being used here. I thought we'd use this black silk here, and we'll deal out some tarot cards, and we'll consult the cards concerning this magic that she thinks has been, like, I don't know what it is. Somebody's using magic. She thinks somebody's using magic on her, and the work colleagues can see it and all this. What's going on? I ask for the truth on behalf of this matter, and of course I don't know what sort of magic, if it's black magic or what type of magic, I don't know. But I ask on behalf of Ariana Carvalho there concerning the use of magic upon her, and I ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we cut the deck, and we just straighten out the black silk there and just move the deck to the side here, and we'll deal out 3 cards. I've got this crystal skull as well. Probably that may help energise a bit the magic, given the fact that it's obsidian. If we suddenly see anything there in the void of space and time, as you would say, because when you scry with these things, you don't really see anything in it. You see it sort of above it or to the side. It's just a focal point, so we might see if anything's there. But for now, we'll just deal out 3 cards at the moment, and each card is in a position in a spread, and the first position in the spread is in the position of the recent past. This is your recent past there. So that's Ariana. We'll just play. There's Ariana at the present, and then of course Ariana in the immediate future. So let's just see what this is all about. I just thought, whilst we considering it about magic and things like that, I thought with the magic of the crystal skull and the black silk and things. The black, of course, helps protect, doesn't it? And it helps protect while we do the readings, you would say. So let's pull out the first card. The recent past, the first card in the position of the recent past there, is of course, I usually say about a moon phase behind, whereas the immediate future is a moon phase ahead. So that'll be about 3 or 4 weeks or so into the future. But let's see what magic or what energy, we could say what magic there was around, in the sense of what energy there was surrounding this this issue. Let's just pull out the first card and we'll just bring it round there, and what we'll do, we'll just flip it nice and slow. I think before we just flip it, we'll just wave it nice and slowly over the crystal skull there to sort of gather its energy, to see if we can, whilst the energy is there, it can help us maybe concentrate or focus more on the magic that was present. And the magic that was present, you've got the energy of the moon. The moon is about lies and deception, and about, when you think about moonlight, what is moonlight? Moonlight is a lie, isn't it? In the sense of it's reflected sunlight. It's a reflection. It isn't true. Even in some decks like the Raven's Prophecy, where the Raven's beak, as you would say, holds the moon, cradles the moon. Is it cradling the moon, or is it just you viewing the bell or the beak at a certain distance so you can see the moon in it? if you get what I mean. So it's the right size. And this is what it's all about. It's the deception, the lies. In this case, the crow here talks about delusion and lunacy. Talking about that in the sense of lying to yourself more than anything. And the essence of lies, of course, in the underworld where the truth resides, here it's symbolised by like the Star of David and the Christian crucifix and the crescent there of the three major Abrahamic imaginary friendist religion. I mean, three Abrahamic religions, often linked with the Kabbalah. The Star of David, or the Jewish thing, as the Hebrew is linked to the Kabbalah. The Tarot is linked to the Kabbalah, isn't it? And I suppose in a way the truth about imaginary friends and talking to imaginary friends and saying your imaginary friend says mutilate little boys' willies and make women wear Halloween masks when it isn't Halloween and things like that. It's all a lie, but if you're daft enough to believe that sort of thing, you'll go ahead and do it, won't you? And this is the sort of thing what may have been going on just recently with you, in the sense of it's a lie, it's a deception. Although the truth itself exists in the underworld, you just can't see it. A bit like a lake. You see a lake and there's boats and there's the waves on there are nice and serene. It's a nice sunny day, but underneath there's anything but rubbish under that lake. Bits of plastic, old bikes, old cars, shit, all sorts of crap underneath. The truth of that lake is actually under the surface. But you think, you lie to yourself and you think it's a lovely thing. A lovely, nice, serene day, and there's anything but serenity underneath the surface. And this is what it seems to imply here, as though whatever's been going on with this so-called magic that you say has been placed upon you and whatever, really people can say that they can see it, but they can't see it. It's a lie. It's a delusion, and you lie to yourself if you believe it. It's a lie, and you have been lying to yourself about it. That's what. And because the moon is a major arcana card, it indicates that you had no power to change it, neither over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. You've had no power to change it or have any sort of interaction over it. But if it's the behaviour of other people winding you up or trying to frighten you, of course, then you can't really do or say much. Let's see what is going on right now, though. Let's just flip the energy over there, and as you can see, you've got the Six of Swords. Crowley calls the Six of Swords the Lord of Science. Notice how Owl is here, more bird spirits again. The birds, their spirits carry the messages from the heavens to the earth, and they are seen to be guiding you. But of course, guidance in the darkness and in the shadows, leading to delusion, leading to lunacy, leading to madness, of course, is one thing. But of course, Owl represents your ancestral spirit guides, and Owl Brother brings omens and signs that you should look out for those signs and let them speak to you. And this will help you sort of navigate through the situation and get through it and analyse what knowledge there is. Swords is to do with knowledge and creative and transmissive powers, to do with communication. And of course number 6 is to do with analysis, isn't it? So in that sense, I suppose that's why Crowley calls it the Lord of Science, because he's analysing knowledge, isn't it, in that sense. But here Owl brings signs and omens, and you must pay attention to those omens and those signs right now. And that's how you will be able to change this situation that you're in. Let's just see what the immediate future holds for you. And the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, of course, Crowley calls the Three of Swords the Lord of Sorrow. In this case, of course, there's a lot of pain and grief to come. maybe because things, unfortunately, for just now until early March maybe, or late February, early March, maybe things are going to get worse before they get better, and one must suffer the pain and the anguish that comes with that. But either way, whatever it is, one must right now navigate, and one must seek a progress through it, and seek to for guidance, of course, but pay attention to the signs. Silly things can happen, and it can suddenly make you think of something. Maybe that's owl or your ancestral spirit guides sending you the message. I always think of it in the sense of our ancestors invented the wheel, and every time you see a wheel on a bus or on a car or a truck or an aeroplane, in a way you've got a contact or connection with your ancestors in a distant sort of way, and they're speaking to us in some way, in that sort of, not just actual sense but metaphorical sense as well. And think of it in the sense that the effect that your ancestors, that our ancestors have had in the past, has sort of come forward and had an effect on us as well, and we will have an effect on the future generations as well. We all speak to one another in that way. And of course, about the use of magic on whatever, it's about really whatever hardship that you're going through now. It's easy to blame magic, easy to lie to yourself, easy to become deluded, and others around you play on it and say it to frighten you and laugh and giggle behind your back whilst you are shitting yourself up the corner scared of it. But at the end of the day, the pain and the hurt, yes, is to come. There is a pain and grief to come over this, a lot of heartache to come over this, because this goes deeper than just magic being used on you and your family or whatever. But there's a lot of heartache to come in the next month or so. And then when that's over, well, of course, continue paying attention to signs. But remember, although a major arcana energy here in your recent past says that you had no power over the recent past, the minor arcana energies say that you have got power, and you've got power over the present and the future, so you can change it if you want to do. You have power to change it. It hasn't happened, although now is happening. Paying attention to the signs now is happening. What signs are being given out when people are saying about this magic being used on you? Are they giggling when they say it? Are they hiding away after they've told you so they can giggle with their friends and laugh at your expense? What is it? Is it a power struggle at work, and it's one way of trying to get you to suppress you in some way so that they can break you and crack you up? There's all sorts of things going on that you have to consider in the real world, not so much the magical world, which real magic in the real world exists, but fantasy magic in delusion and lunacy and fantasy exists in a fantasy land created by us to sometimes frighten ourselves. That's how we gain control over each other, that's how we abuse each other, that's how we cause trouble to each other unnecessarily, that's how we cause unnecessary heartache and sorrow, pain and grief. And that will come. Things will get worse before they get better, because the cards do not lie. Crow does not lie, and you must bear that fact in mind, that Crow's magic is king. Crow is king, and his magic is king and most powerful, and he will carry you from the darkness into the light, from the darkness of delusion and lunacy and madness into the light of yes. There is such thing as pain, there is such thing as grief. One must listen to the signs and pay attention to the omens of what's going on around you. One must listen to what people don't say as opposed to what they do say. And by doing that, you will learn what the real magic is. You will learn how to harness real magic and how to use real magic against them in your protection and in your defence. And Crow will protect you through that. But unless you do that, otherwise you will just be stuck in this deluded sort of idea of fantasy of what you think magic is, and it will scare you. You will scare yourself through your own ignorance. Just like faith is when belief becomes knowledge in this sort of sense with magic, of course. Fantasy is, or reality, real magic, of course, is when fantasy magic ceases and everybody wakes up, grows up, and just matures a bit and behaves themselves in a bit more of a mature manner and is a bit more pragmatic, paying attention to the signs. Owl is saying, look out for what goes on when they say things to you. As we've said before, look at what happens, or listen to the tone of their voice when they say it. What's actually going on? It's one thing to have everybody saying things and have the majority sort of say this and say that, but what are the majority doing and how are the majority saying it? And if you are just the butt of their jokes and you wish to remain that, the heartache will be there, your heart will break, and it will bring a lot of pain, a lot of grief. But that pain and grief will still be there, but you have the power to turn it on them. For I am a reflector. I do not accept, I do not wish to receive this negativity that you have sent unto me. I thus send it back, so mote it be. And you can send that energy back to them. You are a reflector, and you can send it back to those who sent it you, and the pain and the grief will be delivered unto them. The pain and the grief that will be yours will be delivered unto them threefold, or as ever manifold it may be that they have sent it to you. You just simply say, thank you very much for the negativity, I don't want it, you can have it back now, thank you. And that's all it is, being very polite and very kind. But of course, to fall into their trap and to play their game, the last laugh is on them. Let's look at the pragmatism, look at the reality, pay attention to the signs right now. It's not what happened then, it's not even about what's happening in the future, it's about what's happening now. Pay attention to the signs and omens, and you will soon see clearly that the magic is actually you. You are the magic. The real magic exists within you. Crow has the magic for you, and you can use his magic to protect you and make their fantasy magic that they're trying to scare you with, which can then manifest itself into real magic if you believe it strong enough. If you believe a lie strong enough, it will manifest itself as truth, and you will believe it. And if somebody lies to you about magic and fantasy magic and tra-la-la-la-la, and you believe it, it will manifest itself as magic, and it will be magic upon you, because you will be the one, ironically, you will be the one who's cast the spell. They will give you the bullets and you will help them fire it. Don't fire their bullets, create your own bullets and fire them, or watch when their bullets come and use a shield and send it back to them. And that's how you protect yourself with real magic. Real magic. And then when they go mad, when they become deluded, you can literally turn it back and say, oh, don't be so silly. There's no such thing as magic. When they start complaining and thinking that you've used it on them, when, of course, we know you've used it on them. But, of course, how silly. Magic doesn't exist, does it? No such thing as witches and things like that. It's all in the movies. And this is the thing. This is how we use real magic. We respect it. And magic, by the way, you spelt the word magic wrong, M-A-G-I-C. It's actually M-A-G-I-C-K. So we caught you out on that one. We know for a fact that you've been deluded, and we know for a fact that to some degree you're a lunatic and you're mad, or you've been mad and you're a lunatic because you can't even spell magic properly. The word magic, of course, real magic, you'll know what real magic is if it's been used on you, I can assure you. But of course, it's time now for you to use real magic on them. They've used fantasy magic on you to frighten you. You pay attention to the signs, and you see them giggling, and you listen to the tone of their voice. and the sorrow is about to come, the pain and the grief is about to come, but you're about to send it back to them. You're about to thank them very much for the negativity that they've sent, but you don't want it, thank you very much. I will send it back to you threefold, so mote it be. And that's all you have to say to them. And that way the magic will be returned unto them, and you will be protected, and Crow will protect you. Crow is the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And of course the madness and the delusion that you were in, the darkness of the delusion and the madness and the lunacy, will be manifest as light into real sorrow, real grief, real heartache upon those who dare challenge the real magic, who dare challenge the healing power of Crow, who dare challenge your ancestral spirit guides, who now are sending you messages. When you hear an owl hoot the next time, just remember who it might be. Just remember. And with that, these cards have spoken.